guys read the title correctly. This video is a book haul, specifically an Amazon book haul. I know I've been on a book buying ban for the majority of 2023. Like, I bought books here and there. For the most part, I've been on a huge book buying ban this whole year because I really wanted to focus on getting through my physical TBR. If you've been watching my channel for a while, then you know that I've been uploading a little series on my channel where I've been literally reading all of the books on my physical TBR, and I'm actually only down to 2 books on my physical TBR, which is a huge improvement. I had so many books last year that were just piling up on my bookshelves, and now that I'm only down to 2 remaining books, I decided to treat myself and do a little bit of book shopping because I need more books to read, and also I love shopping for books. It's very therapeutic. I honestly can't remember the last time I shopped for clothes, but I can remember the last time I shopped for books, and it's been a hot minute, so I'm really excited for today's video. Grab a drink or a snack. I'm sipping on some raspberry leaf tea. And let's talk about books. The first book that I picked up was The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. I did read Better Than the Movies and absolutely loved that book. I think it was almost a 5-star read for me. It was so cute. Highly recommend to check out that book if you haven't read it yet. So when I saw this one, I decided to give it a try and to see if it's just as good as Better Than the Movies. I actually haven't heard many people talk about this one. I think it came out last year. It came out in 2022. Oh my god, the dedication for the lonely, the daydreamers, the ones who find their friends between the pages of books. You matter and your happy ending will come. Sometimes the wait is just longer in real life than in fiction. Oh my god, okay. I already love this book and I haven't even started reading it yet. But this one goes, after living through a dumpster fire of a Valentine's Day, Emily escapes to her grandmother's house for some much needed girl talk and companionship. There she passes out on the couch, but when she wakes up, she's back home in her own bed. That's not the only shocker though. Somehow it's Valentine's Day again. And the next day, another disaster Valentine's Day. It seems that Emily is stuck in some sort of time loop nightmare that she can't wake up from as she rewatches her boyfriend Josh cheat on her day after day. That is horrible. In addition to Josh's recurring infidelity, Emily can't get away from the enigmatic Nick, whom she keeps running into, sometimes literally in unfortunate ways. How many days can one girl spend passively watching her life go up in flames? And when something good starts to come out of these terrible days, what happens when the universe stops dueling out do-overs? Okay, this sounds really cute. I love a good time loop trope, so I'm really excited for this one. The cover is also so adorable. The next book that I picked up is one that I saw all over BookTube and BookTok last year, and for some reason I never picked it up. I just didn't find it all that interesting, but then I saw it on Amazon and I read the synopsis again, and for some reason I decided to buy it this time around. And that book is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I feel like this is going to be a really good summer read. Like, I'm envisioning myself reading this next to the pool on a hot summer day, chilling, vibing with the book, you know? I've actually never read anything from this author before, so I really don't know what to expect, if I'll enjoy her writing. When Meredith Fox lost her sister Claire 18 months ago, she shut everyone out. But this summer, she's determined to join the world again. The annual family vacation to Martha's Vineyard seems like the perfect place to reconnect. Her entire extended family is gathering for a big summer wedding, and although Meredith is dateless after being unexpectedly dumped, she's excited to participate in the traditional Fox family game of assassin that would take place during the week of wedding festivities. Claire always loved the game, and Meredith is determined to honor her legacy. That is so sweet. But when Meredith forms an alliance with a cute groomsman, why can I not pronounce that word? I'm also so out of breath, and I don't know if it's my asthma or my pregnancy. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm out of breath all the damn time. Meredith tries to focus on the game and win it for her sister, but she can't help falling for him. And as the week progresses, she realizes she's not only at risk of losing the game, but also her heart. I feel like a lot of people loved this book, so I do have high expectations. Let me know in the comments below if you read this book and if you enjoyed it. The cover is definitely giving me summer vibes, which I'm here for. And I've actually never been to Martha's Vineyard, which I kind of want to go. And I lived super close to it. Like, I lived in New England for a very long time and I just never went. And now that I live in Florida, I want to go visit. Go figure. The next book that I picked up was Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. I've heard a lot of good things about this author, and I've heard really good things about this book as well. It's supposed to be a cute little romantic comedy, and it's not too long, which I cannot stand when a romantic romantic comedy is a thick ass book because half the time is actually not even funny. So I feel like this is a good size for a romantic comedy. This one also came out in 2022, so it's still fairly new. I feel like I always read books years after their release, so it feels pretty good that I've picked up some newer books in this haul. After a while back, gourmet grilled cheese sandwich and cuddle with a baby goat, Alexis has had her world turned upside down. The cause? Daniel Grant, a ridiculously hot carpenter who's 10 years younger than her and as casual as they come. The complete opposite of sophisticated city girl Alexis. And yet their chemistry is undeniable. While her ultra wealthy parents want her to carry on the family legacy of world-renowned surgeons, Alexis doesn't need glory or fame. She's fine with being a mere ER doctor. Mere. Girl, give yourself some credit. And every minute she spends with Daniel in the tight-knit town where he lives, she's discovering just what's really important. Yet letting their relationship become anything more than a short-term fling would mean turning her back on her family and giving up the opportunity to help thousands of people. With so many differences between them, how can Alexis possibly choose between her world and his? Is this book going to make me cry? I feel like this book is going to make me cry. Jimenez is a true talent. Emily Henry, one of my favorite all-time authors. Praising Abby Jimenez. Love to see it. Another very cute cover. I feel like all the books that I picked up have really pretty covers. Love it. Next up, we have Restore Me by Tahiri Mafi. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced her name, but this is the fourth book in the Shatter Me series, and I'm so excited to read this. I read Ignite Me last month, gave it 5 stars. That book was perfection. I will hear no slander against that book because it was so freaking good, but that means I have super high expectations for this one. This one takes place right where the last one left off. I'm not going to tell you guys what happens in this one or what's supposed to happen because I don't want to ruin the series in case you haven't read the books yet. But if you haven't read the Shatter Me series, please go read it. It is so freaking good. The writing is so addicting. I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself once I finish that series because I love it so much. I'm so excited about this next book, and I can't believe I'm saying I'm excited about this next book because I never thought in a million years that I would be obsessed with this author, but here I am being completely obsessed with this author. And the book is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Absolutely loved both books. I think I gave both books 5 stars, and I'm still thinking about those books till this day. Absolutely loved them. So many of you guys recommended Malibu Rising to me, told me to read this one next. So here I am about to read Malibu Rising. This one actually takes place in 1983, and I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid does a very good job of writing books that take place in the past, but she still makes the reader feel like they're living right there in that time period with the characters. At least that's how I felt when I read Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Like I felt I was living in that time period, not in 2023, which just tells you how good her writing is. But yeah, this one takes place in August of 1983 in Malibu. It's the day of Nina's annual end of summer party, and anticipation is at a fever pitch. Everyone wants to be around the famous Rivas. Nina, the talented surfer and supermodel, brothers Jay and Hud, one a championship surfer, the other renowned photographer, and their adored baby sister Kit. Together, the siblings are a source of fascination, especially as the offspring of the legendary singer Mick Riva. By midnight, the party will be completely out of control. By morning, the Riva mansion will have gone up in flames. But before that first spark in the early hours before dawn, the alcohol will flow, the music will play, and the loves and secrets that shape this family's generations will all come rising to the surface. I have a feeling I'm going to love this book. It's giving family drama. It's giving summer vibes. What more could I possibly ask for? So excited to read this one, and another beautiful cover. I picked up another Colleen Hoover book, which I haven't picked up a Colleen Hoover book in a hot minute. I'm trying to read all of her books this year, and I'm pretty close to finishing. I think I only have maybe 3 or 4 of her books left to read. And then last time I was at Barnes & Noble, I actually saw this one, Never Never, obviously by Colleen Hoover, but it's also by Taryn Fisher. The cover looked really intriguing, and I love that Colleen Hoover wrote this with another author. I didn't end up picking it up when I was there, but I decided to order it on Amazon to give it a chance. So I'm really excited. I mean, Colleen Hoover's writing is addicting, but I'm curious to see how her writing pairs up with Taryn Fisher's writing. I actually haven't read any books from Taryn Fisher, so I don't really know what to expect, but I feel like this is going to be a really good book. Charlize and Silas have been best friends since they could walk. They've been in love since the age of 14, but as of this morning, they are complete strangers. Their first kiss, their first fight, the moment they fell in love, every memory has vanished. Now they must work together to uncover the truth about what happened to them and why. But the more they learn about the couple they used to be, the more they question why they were ever together to begin with. Forgetting is terrifying, but remembering might be worse. I feel like this is very different from all of her other romance books, so I'm really excited. I know that Colleen Hoover gets a lot of hate, but I actually really enjoy her books, so really excited to start this one. I also picked up the second book in the Red Queen series, The Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. This one picks up right where the first one left off, so I don't want to read the synopsis to you guys because I don't want to ruin the first book in case you haven't read it, but I definitely recommend for you guys to check out this series because I've enjoyed it so far. I mean, I've only read the first book. I found the first book to be a little predictable, but I'm hoping the second one is a little bit better than the first book, and hopefully I can't guess the twist in this one because I think I only gave the Red Queen like 3 stars, maybe a 3.5, I don't remember, but the big reason I didn't give it a 4-star rating was because big twists were so predictable and I saw them from a mile away. So hopefully this one is a little bit better, keeps me guessing throughout the entire book. I have another fantasy book. I've been on a fantasy kick lately in case you haven't noticed, but this one is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I've literally seen this book everywhere lately. Everyone has been reading it, everyone has been talking about it. I've tried to stay away from spoilers and reviews, so I don't really know if what people are saying are good things about this book, but I decided to give it a chance. Evangeline Fox has always believed in true love and happy endings until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding, she strikes a deal with the charismatic, immortal Prince of Hearts. But she soon discovers that bargaining with the Prince of Hearts is a dangerous game. He has plans for her, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or a tragedy. I'm intrigued by that synopsis alone. I don't know about you guys, but I am looking forward to reading this. It's also not super long. Some fantasy books are like 100 years long. Sometimes I find that the first book in a fantasy series can be a little slow and a little hard to get into. So I'm really glad that this one isn't super thick. Hopefully it's good. And then I also picked up the second book in the Twisted Love series. I read Twisted Love last month, I believe, and actually really enjoyed it. I think I gave it 4 stars. A lot of you guys have told me that this is actually your favorite book in the series, so I have high expectations for it. Hopefully it's actually good and it's better than the first one. This one actually follows 2 characters that made an appearance in the first book, Reese and Princess Bridget. Yes, she's an actual princess. Reese is actually her bodyguard, kind of like a forbidden love. They're like polar opposites, but somehow they end up falling in love with one another. Stoic and arrogant elite bodyguard Reese has 2 rules: protect his clients at all costs, do not become emotionally involved ever. He has never once been tempted to break those rules until her. Regal, strong-willed, and bound by the chains of duty, Princess Bridget dreams of the freedom to live and love as she chooses. But when her brother abdicates, she's suddenly faced with the prospect of a loveless, politically expedient marriage and a throne she never wanted. And as she navigates the intricacies and treacheries of her new role, she must also hide her desire for a man she can't have. I don't know, I really liked their characters in the first book from the little glimpses that I saw. I just hope that Reese isn't like super possessive. That really irked me from the first book, that the male main character was super possessive, super grumpy, kind of shady. So many red flags with that one, but hopefully this one is just a little bit better. And I think the covers are so pretty. Look at these covers. This is the first book in the series, and then this is the second one. If you have read the Twisted Love series, let me know which book in the series is your favorite, and if you actually enjoyed these books. I'm interested to know. I feel like this series gets a lot of mixed reviews. You either love it or you hate it. Curious to hear what you guys think about this series. I also want to share some of the books that I recently downloaded on Kindle. All of these are actually free. If you have Amazon Prime and you're not taking advantage of Prime Reading, what are you doing? There's so so many good books that you can read for free on the Kindle app. You don't even have to have a Kindle. Like, I don't have a Kindle. I normally just read on my phone or on my iPad. Again, it's included in your Prime membership, so you don't have to pay extra to read a book unless you want like Kindle Unlimited, but I don't have Kindle Unlimited. I think like every month they change the books that are available, and you basically borrow the book. Once you're done reading, you return it. It's kind of like an online library, so definitely take advantage of Prime reading if you have Amazon Prime, because I read some really good books on there. These are some of the books that I recently downloaded. The first book is Mary Jane, which I saw this book everywhere last year. So many people were reading it. So many people were raving about it. Actually, it takes place in the 1970s in Baltimore. 14-year-old Mary Jane loves cooking with her mother, singing in her church choir, and enjoying her family's subscription to the Broadway show Tunes of the Month Record Club. Shy, quiet, and bookish, she's glad when she lands a summer job as a nanny for the daughter of a local doctor. The house may look respectable on the outside, but inside it's a literal and figurative mess. Clutter on every surface, cereal and takeout for dinner, and even more troublesome, the doctor is a psychiatrist who has cleared his summer for one important job, helping a famous rock star dry out. A week after Mary Jane starts, the rock star and his movie star wife move in. Over the course of the summer, Mary Jane introduces her new household to crisply ironed clothes and a family dinner schedule, and has a front row seat to a liberal world of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Caught between the lifestyle she's always known and the future she's only just realized it's possible, Mary Jane will arrive at September with a new idea about what she wants out of life and what kind of person she's going to be. I feel like this is going to be a really good book, and I feel like I'm going to really enjoy it, so I'm excited to start that one. And then the next one that I downloaded was The Duke and I by Julia Quinn. So this is the first book in the Bridgerton series. I've been meaning to read this book for such a long time. I just have never gotten around to it. Like, I don't even know how many books are in the entire series, but I downloaded this one to give it a chance. And it's basically a romance book set in the Regency era. I kind of like romance books that are set in the past if the author does it right. I've heard a lot of praise about this series, so I'm excited to give it a chance. I feel like I keep saying I'm excited about every book here, but I'm literally excited to start every single book that I bought. It also seems like it's fake dating, which I love the fake dating trope, so I feel like I'm going to really enjoy that book. The next book that I downloaded was Royally Rearranged by Emma St. Clair. Honestly, I downloaded this one because the cover was really cute and it kind of made me giggle. It's also a romantic comedy, which you guys know I love a good romantic comedy, so I decided to give it a chance. There will be a royal wedding. The only question, who will be my groom? An arranged marriage isn't the worst fate for a princess like me, especially because I've been in love with my intended groom since we were children. But when my prince shows up with an American girlfriend instead of an engagement ring, all arrangements are off. The clock is near midnight. I won't turn into a pumpkin, but if I'm not wed by summer's end, I'll forfeit my kingdom. Just your typical royal dilemma. Out of sheer desperation, I make a deal with a devilish duke. Rafe, I think that's how you pronounce it, is the prince's rival and has a plan so ridiculous it just might work. One moment, he seems to relish making the prince jealous, and the next, he's making me question everything. I'm not always given the luxury of choice, but now I have a huge one to make. I only hope I don't lose my crown, my heart, or myself in the process. I also downloaded it because it's closed door, which means it's not spicy, and sometimes I like to take a break from spicy books and just enjoy a good closed door romance. I know I bought a lot of romance books. It's my favorite genre, what can I say? But I did download a thriller. It's called 20 Years Later by Charlie Donlia. Avery Mason, host of American Events, knows the subjects that grab a TV audience attention. Her latest story, a murder mystery laced with kinky sex, tragedy, and betrayal, is guaranteed to be ratings gold. New DNA technology has allowed the New York Medical Examiner's Office to make its first successful identification of a 9/11 victim in years. The twist, the victim, Victoria Ford, had been accused of the gruesome murder of her married lover. In a chilling last phone call to her sister, Victoria begged her to prove her innocence. Emma Kine has waited 20 years to put her sister to rest. The closure won't be complete until she can clear Victoria's name. Alone, she's had no luck, but she's convinced that Avery's connections and fame will help. Avery, hoping to negotiate a more lucrative network contract, goes into investigative overdrive. And what Avery doesn't realize is there are other players in the game who are interested in Avery's own secret past, one she has kept hidden from both the network's executives and her television audience. First of all, the fact that it has to deal with 9/11, I know it's fiction, it's not real, but the fact that it has to deal with 9/11 has me intrigued. It's a murder mystery. I can't wait to read that one. I'll probably read it late at night when I can't sleep because it sounds so freaking good. I've also seen this book everywhere. It's another very popular one, so can't wait to start that one. I feel like I have a really good selection of books right now, and I can't wait to read them all. Stay tuned for all the reading vlogs because they will be coming very, very soon. Let me know in the comments below a book that you recently purchased and that you're excited to start reading. But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you a part of my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.